If science, by definition, allows for more than one opinion, otherwise you merely have the will of one man, which is the basis of cult.
If it's not in frame, it doesn't exist.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, an illusion?
Where you been?
Drunk.
Wendy, darling, light of my life.
What's your one purpose in life?
To explode, of course.
I like death with sex. How about you, Casey? You like sex with death?
Yeah, so fuck up and die.
You guys out there in the podcast world, you just missed some sweet,
some riveting conversation.
Off air. Yeah.
Hey, don't worry, because with the two of us, the riveting conversations, they never stop. They
right?
just
It's
keep
beginning.
going. So, anyway.
Perfect. Nailed it. That's see, folks at home, that's called timing.
Yeah.
right.
I got fucking
the comedic pause.
So I gotta get out of the way. I did not know that this movie was a musical. And Hedwig and the Angry
What do you
Inch.
mean?
I didn't know. I did not know that.
Oh, I guess that's true. I did
It
the
is.
same thing where I was like, oh, it's a rock.
It's like a rock opera
play type. But it is like a rock opera.
It's
So,
a
like,
musical, straight
it really
up.
isn't.
Especially since it's
Sure.
based on a playwright. But it's like, I've had the fucking song, Wig in a Box, stuck in my head.
Oh, dude.
Like, so
Yeah.
hardcore. I was just like, just humming along today, vacuuming. And I'm like, oh, man, never in my life. Because I fucking hate, like, if I would have known it was a musical, I probably would have come at it a little bit more, like, apprehensively. So I'm kind of glad I didn't. I mean, I go into everything with an open mind, but still. But
Sure.
I've never in my life
Yeah, no,
had
we
a
have an
musical
inherent bias.
be like, invade my brain and be like an earworm and shit. And like get in there and be like, na 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 na.
I know, yeah.
And I'm
Take
like,
it
ah,
off the
shit.
shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, it definitely. Well, because it tells you. I love that it like does the sing along.
Oh, it's great.
The wig
Oh, it's
on
so
top
good.
of the letters. Like,
So good.
That's beautiful.
Anyway, so if you didn't notice already, this is the Cult of Cinema Knowledge podcast. There it is. There's Jordan over there. He's got an angry inch. I'm Levi. I got an angry inch.
I know. Yeah. Heck yeah,
1
dude.
inch,
I'll be
or 1
I'll
inch
be
mound of flesh. That's me.
Your sugar daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh, please.
I love how it's like six inches forward, 5
Yeah.
inches back.
Long
That's
story
like,
short,
yeah,
dude. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
So we watched Hedwig and the Angry Inch, right? We're watching movies based on plays. This is a movie based on a play, a musical play, as you didn't already guess that.
Which is funny. I've
Well, it's hard to
full
allude
disclosure,
to in
I
that
saw
because
this
it's like
movie,
they do have live music, but
but-
it's not like they always just burst out singing what they're feeling, which is what most musicals are. And that happens in this like once or
Yeah.
twice, but like most of the story is told through the band playing gigs, right? And it's like, but it's like they're telling the story through the songs, you know what I mean? Also, which is good.
Yeah. And it, I mean,
It fucking
and
works.
it,
Like it works.
Oh, it works. It works so well. This is such a plucky, fun little movie. Do you want? I can do a synopsis, or do you want to do a synopsis?
You know
Who's
what?
doing the-
Why
it's a
don't
pretty-
you know what? Why don't you do a quick synopsis for one? Just give us a quick one.
It's so quick because this actually is like narratively a really quick story.
Yes.
It's literally like it's Hedwig is the main the front woman of
Hedwig
this
and
rock
the
and roll
Angry
band,
Inch. Who
Hedwig.
would have
Hedwig and
guessed?
the Angry Inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so they are going on tour right now through the U.S. and they're following Tommy, I think, and I can't remember what the Oasis or something or what's
Tommy
their-
Gnosis or whatever how you say
Yes,
it.
Gnosis.
Because it's like
and he's got,
a
like,
religious symbol, Gnosis. And
right. And yeah,
played
so
by
that's the
Michael
whole
Pitt. That's all I know.
symbology.
I was like, hey, that guy's in Funny Games. Anyway, that's all I think of him from.
Yeah.
Now, but
Yeah, and so yeah, he plays a musician that's blown up on the scene, and so he's going on a tour through a bunch of like stadiums and stuff, and it's legit. And so Hedwig's like manager has had them playing. They're like touring with them essentially, but playing off the not. They're not doing it because Hedwig. They used to be lovers, and Hedwig did all the writing for all the music. And so you kind of find that out through like another relationship that Hedwig has right now. which is like a heartbreaking one with Yitzka, I think, or
Is that how you say it?
something like that. That's how I say it.
The drag king, right?
Yeah, the drag king, and like, and so they're married at that time. But yeah, you can see they have like a tumultuous relationship. It's not very good, but anyhow, through this like whole movie, each like location they go to, they do a new song, and then the song has a flashback to kind of why it's written, and it starts with like Hedwig's in like, you know, is he in East Berlin? I can't remember what side he's on, but anyways, he's when the
East Berlin.
Yeah, when like in like
That's-
63 or whatever, when the wall goes
that's
up.
the bad commie side.
Yeah. So when the Berlin
poor
Wall
side.
comes up, he's living in a small little apartment with his mom, and his mom's married to a GI, and that's how he was born. And like she kicks the GI out because he's a dick, and the Cold War and shit. And so, anyways, but he grows up with a lot of like Western influences as a child, and he like well, it's funny because as a child, so this movie's interesting because he's like gender kind of fluid essentially. He's like he's just gender queer. He's not necessarily transitioning, but it's like in drag and refers to themselves as like she. So
Right.
Anyways, Hedwig, she like as a little kid, she wants to go to America to just live the life, and when she comes to
Get
America,
out of East Berlin because
pulled
apparently
through
East
another
Berlin's
song.
fucking trash. Yeah,
Yeah,
sugar
right,
daddy.
exactly, yeah.
How she got to America.
And that's how she gets to America is she meets Lieutenant, what the hell is his name? It's so
Robinson,
good. It's like Luther.
It's Luther
Yeah,
Robinson.
it's Luther Robinson,
Yeah.
baby. Sergeant Luther Robinson, and he's like, I'll be your sugar daddy or whatever. He's like, you're my gummy bear, and he gives him gummy bears, and she eats them, and it's delicious, and that scene is very sexy. And
That's one way to describe
anyways,
it. Yeah.
they come to I mean, I don't know, man. But they come to
Certainly
they come to
made
like
me
some
uncomfortable,
shitty
that's
trailer
for
park.
sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's how sexy should be. But they come to like some dirtbag trailer park in Kansas.
Well,
And-
you're missing. So like before they can leave, it's like very strict lockdown
sure.
country. They're like the only way you
Right,
can
if you
leave
get
is if you're we get married and you're a woman officially because it's like
Well,
so they
yeah,
convince Hedwig into getting like a sex change operation by just some fucking random dude who botches it.
Yeah.
And just
Who botches it,
cuts,
and thus
just
the
cuts,
angry
cuts her
aunt.
dick off, right? Pretty much, and just
right.
says that she's a Ken doll now with a stump, essentially.
with a mouth.
The angry inch, which is such a fucking punk song. I love
Such
it.
a. That's what I love. I love this threads the needle of like glam rock and punk.
Yeah,
so well.
it's cool.
It's so definitive of like the late 70s that it's emulating, And so, anyways, so they have to do
Comes
that.
to
And
America.
then that's Hedwig is her mom's name, and so they come to America, and then immediately Luther Robinson is a hoe bag, and so he leaves with another person, and so she's left alone. But then she just kind of like, I don't know, whatever. She just does her thing. She works on the streets.
Yeah,
she
she
odd
does sex
things.
work and a babysitter where
And then-
she meets
That's
Tommy.
right. That's right. She becomes a babysitter because she does odd ends. That's what it is. Remember when she's like, I had to scrape by with like a babysitter and other shit gigs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
jobs
that's where
mostly
she
of
meets-
like the blow variety,
Yeah, the below. Yeah, right. Exactly. And that's where she meets Tommy and gives him a quick handy, and then they fall in love. And he's only 17, but we don't talk about that.
That's fine.
And then like, yeah, it's cool. And so
in some states, the fucking it's
she-
14 or some shit.
true.
Who knows?
That's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, but she writes all these like love ballads and just awesome songs, and then Tommy, he becomes like the face of it, and then they have a car accident, and then Tommy like is like, oh, I don't know her at all, I've never been with her, because like the scandal comes out, because it's like he doesn't want to be, because he's supposed to be like Christian rock or something,
yeah, no,
so he doesn't want to.
he ditches
want to be
her.
associated
He
with like,
ditches her.
queer.
It's he ditches her and like steals the songs, but then near the end, the fucking Hedwig and the Angry Ants falls apart, and then Hedwig's back on the street, and that's when Tommy comes back and is like, "I'm so sorry," after he's already famous, and that's when they get in the car accident. That's not how they broke up. They broke up because when Tommy
that's-
was like, oh wait, you're not a girl and you have like a deformity. Like I don't like that anymore.
Oh yeah.
So that's how they
right,
break up
that's right.
like the first time, and then the second time, which may or may not be real, is they get together and then it's like Hedwig they get in an accident and fucking his career's ruined, and it's like, oh, shines a light on her to where it's like, oh, she was the real genius behind it all along, and then it's very much identity, and then like kind of like there's a little bit of recoupling between her and her husband, where she's like they break up kind of.
That's right. She like it's because so we missed that. So a little bit for this, just to kind of wrap it up. There's like she's letting her like her drag king, and like she's letting her become more feminine, which she wanted. That's like a deleted scene. Is like they actually do get married, and like
they did. That is a deleted scene.
Hedwig has such insecurities about femininity that
I got that
she's not allowed to be right. Exactly.
I got it
right,
without the scene, but I do. That was like going to be my one of my big criticisms, where it's like we got so much flashback, but we never got to see
don the wig.
Yeah, we never got to see the two of them like how they got together, because I was like waiting for that.
Right, and that is an actual scene.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that,
and it's in the play too. So it's
okay, I'm gonna have to go watch that, because that is one thing I was like, oh, they showed us so much flashback and everything, but they didn't show that. But I was like waiting, because it's like I really liked the band dynamic, and I was waiting to see like what the tension between the two of them was, because especially early on, it was like such a big deal, So
and it was so like one-sided. And
yeah, for sure.
It kind of like that scene would kind of, I feel like, give a little bit more.
It might have messed with the pacing or something,
Hedwig,
but that's good to know. Good to know.
Right. So anyway, that's right. I'm like, I don't remember.
Well, the last 20
Oh.
minutes are very like symbolic, Hedwig
Surreal,
like
yeah.
sheds the fucking persona and is like, "Am I Hansel?" Goes back to like the male kind of,
and does like
and
an
like
opposite persona where it's like all white. They're white and more ethereal, and like leading into that message.
she
okay,
like,
that's right.
and then like Tommy's like, "Oh, I forgive you and I love you. I'm sorry," and then like Hedwig just ends with she or him, like in whatever identity it is, very fluid, naked in an alley, walking out into the world.
Oh yeah,
reborn.
The rebirth.
Yeah.
The rebirth. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
and that's how it ends, which is it's good stuff.
Yeah, I love that.
So you've anyway. So yes, good job.
Sure.
Yeah,
great.
You've seen this, right? Didn't you say you've seen this, or like some of it?
Yes, I've seen this with Jesse Hughes back in the day.
That tracks.
So whenever that was, 9th grade or something, and so it's like it's so funny. I like remember a lot of this. I remember the animation big time because I love the animation in this.
Right, yeah.
It's great how it's
like the hand drawn like journal shit.
The whole the journal stuff, and like then it's just and it's like it looks like it's on like a fucking brown paper bag with like colored pencils,
Yeah, that's great.
And it looks beautiful, and like it's kind of got like Basquiat style. It's really messy but like really cool animation, and I love that story is like an ancient Greek. It's an actual like poem or something.
Yeah, the origins of love or whatever.
The origins.
Yeah,
because
I feel like I've
heard
heard that like philosophy. Yeah, and they reference Zeus and stuff about how it's like there people were like
split you down,
and you're looking for your other half, and
and that's beautiful, dude. I love the symbology too, where it's like two men stuck together, two women, and then like then a man and a woman stuck together for the moon, and like it's cool, dude. This movie I did watch it when I was younger, but I remember the animation. I remember I thought it was a little bit more. I thought it was more John Waters grotesque, like from my memory. But I think I'm just like mushing all that kind of queer stuff together.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like was like, oh, I thought it was a little more. I didn't think it was like so glamoury. Like,
did you guys kiss when you watched it?
But it's so good. We should have. That's like it's definitely like. It's got a charge to it that I love.
It does.
It's like it's a sincerity, that disgusting punk stuff that we like.
Yeah.
It's got that like. Well, it's got that like.
And as a
kind of griminess to it.
Pretty much straight white man, it's like I loved how fucking queer this movie was. It was awesome. It was so fun, man. This movie was a blast. Because I'd never seen it. Right, I didn't even know it was a fucking musical. I'd seen the name because it's the name stands out, Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I'd seen that pop up over the years, just on movie lists and shit. But I didn't really know what it was. I'd recognize like the poster and stuff. So I didn't really know what I was getting into. But just from the opening, I was there for it. Like it's just such a raw vibe. It's like 16 millimeter or whatever. Like
totally. That's what I mean. Yeah, it looks like the film looks grimy.
Yeah,
but their that cape that they made is the Berlin Wall. It's the divide.
Cool.
so it's got like it's got like actual graffiti from the Berlin Wall on it.
That's fun.
And so it's pretty cool. I was like, damn, like that's what's so, dude. This movie, I forgot how packed it is with like little symbolism and like little sequences, like him as a kid packed in that like his 1-bedroom apartment or whatever, not even that studio apartment in Berlin, like packed in there, all the little like drawing details and like his posters and like his little like radio and stuff, everything that he had as a child, like, and just all the influences seeping in is so cool. And when he's like laying there and then it transforms and she's like an adult, with like the full wig garb on.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And how that's filmed, like the rotation.
Yeah, this film is very, very creative how it's made. Like it definitely feels like an art kid's project, like the way it's edited.
Totally.
And like it's got like, like not only the songs and everything, but like the use of animation, like you said, and like just the weird surreal scenes, like with the fucking Hansel and Gretel, because it's like his name's Hansel, right?
Yes.
And
oh my God, that's so good.
It's like all the candy bars. It's like, oh yeah, he follows it back, and it's like, there's my candy man or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Luther absolutely terrified me though, because it's like the directing there was like Lear as creepily as possible, because he's like, hey, you're so
baby.
fine. You should be a girl.
Yeah.
It's like what he says. And it's just like the way he leers. I'm just like, ooh, the guy is a predator. Like,
oh yeah. He's getting what he wants.
Oh, for sure.
One way or the other.
But yeah, man, I didn't know. Like, I was digging it from the get go, like the credit sequence, and it's like the live music playing at the credits. But it's like, it wasn't until like pretty close. It's like 15, 20 minutes in when they do that Origins of Love bit, when I was like, oh, okay, this is something special. Like, I'm watching it and seeing, like, the animation and, like, vibing with the song, vibing with the lyrics, and the performances, which are, like, from what I understand, like, pretty much live, feels live. Like, God, what's the guy?
So this is kind of one of my, I've got a couple fun facts, and the one that, how they recorded this is pretty, like, unique, is where they didn't want to do it in studio. So, like, they would record themselves and then they would sing it live. Like it's a weird like concept where it's like it's a lot different. They didn't lip sync it.
Well, right. It felt real, and I saw
was,
something like that. John Cameron Mitchell. So I was trying to remember his name.
Oh yeah. Because he's
crushed
wrote it, directed
crushed it,
and stars in it.
Yeah.
And
you
like
could
but
feel
he's been working on
passion,
this character since, he was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like he's been playing this character a long time.
And that tracks. This feels like the most 90s, 2000s movie. Like, it feels... I had to look up because it feels like it was made 10 years earlier than it came out. And it's like Sundance, like you said. Like we were saying on some other movies, it's definitely a Sundance-type movie,
Oh, yeah. 100%.
But it feels not... Like, it doesn't feel dated, even though it's, like, feels older, but it feels, like, homaged. Like... Even though it may be budgetary constraints, it feels very, like, classical in that way, My wife literally, I was like, hey, you want to watch this movie with me? And she watched the trailer, and I'm like, that's not a good idea, usually. Like, trailers are very hit and miss, especially the farther back you go. But she's like, nah, really she's like, it looks too old, looks too 70s. And I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it was made in, like, 2001 or whatever. But she's like, nah. And then, like, so many times I get all sulky. I'm like, you probably would have liked it, actually, if you fucking cared about art.
No, I think she would have liked it a lot.
I
was bummed Victoria couldn't watch this with me. I wanted her to see it. It's like, I think it's fun. Like, I think it's got a sincerity, and it's got such a weird. I actually was like thinking about this whole time where it's like drag. I mean, drag's been around forever, and this concept has been around forever. Clearly, like as long as humans have existed.
Right.
But there was such a jump. I think, and it's probably just because it became such a it was controversial, but then became more quote unquote mainstream in the 90s. Where you have Eddie Izzard is somebody who I always think of as kind of being not it's just gender fluid.
That's a thing too. It's
queer. Not trying to transition, but
we were going down such a
in
path
drag
where it's just in a perfect world, I wish it'd be you don't have to put a fucking label on it. Just be how you want to be and do that. But unfortunately, now we kind of have to fight for anything we can get.
Well, and that's exactly right. Yeah. Like as human beings, we categorize things just for our brains, for function's sake. And so it's I understand the utility behind a label, and a label can give you power. So I love it, but it also can be weaponized, which it's being heavily weaponized now. And so that's the part that I'm just shit, man. It's crazy to be I love that this movie exists, and I'm glad that it's Criterion, and I recommend anyone watch it, and that's.
Oh, I think a lot of people
it's just crazy that
that are bigoted and shit could maybe get something out of this, because it's not only is it fun, it's an extremely good character study. I feel of Hedwig / Hansel or whatever. I think she's a fascinating character, and it goes really, and it's very personal. The movie feels the songs feel like journal entries, and by design, obviously, because it starts with oh, I found my journal, and it's all just drawings, right? And it kind of starts
from a child. There. Yeah, that's so cool.
And it's it kind of does, because like you say, it's sincere, but it's it's fun and joyous. I'm thinking about there's the anger of some of the songs and the situation, and it's you got the Angry Inch song where it's that's kind of the anger and the frustration, and the hardest song of the bunch probably. But that's the only part you get some guy that calls her the F word and not fuck, and there's a fight. A fight breaks out, right? And, but it's so you see the struggle, you see the sincerity, but it's but it's also incredibly funny and incredibly full of joy. I really do think of the song Wig in a Box, where they're at the trailer park and then they all start jamming and it comes down, but it's they're all right, let's sing it together, and the words come up and their all heads are just poking out the window. It's just, I don't know. I feel if you watch that and you're oh, fucking queers, you're such a piece of shit.
Right. No, literally though. That's the thing.
I'm it's so joyous, man. It's just.
Yeah, I try to have that I try to have the both sides debate, and it's it's just wild to be you have this one life to live, and you choose to hate something that doesn't even, it does nothing for you. It's it's just neutral for you.
Yeah.
And B, it's just it's a positive for them. I just don't get it. I can't understand it, because it's I mean, and we obviously live on the side of this art is amazing, and I love this movie. And so it's it's super fun, and I love gender fluid punk shit is
since when did
dope.
It
So
used to be all it takes all kinds to make a world, right? You know what I mean? It's what it used to be, and it's now it's except for if you're different than me, then fuck you,
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, I loved when they get in the fight there, because it's the one when he's singing about the Angry Inch, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, that's the song.
Yeah, that's the one.
And they get in the fight, and then it's so cool how he flies over it.
That's great.
She just,
I love that transition.
That transition is so cool.
It reminded me
this
of
movie's, this movie's made really well.
It is. It's really. It's it's kind of messy. You know what I mean? A little bit.
Yeah.
But I feel it works for it, just because.
Well, it's got it feels like I'm watching it feels like a band documentary. It's got that vibe to me.
That's what I wanted more of, because it's I loved.
Yeah, because I love when the band's together, but
Yeah.
no one gets to talk. There's like nobody.
Yeah, the
like,
shots,
you
the bands
learn
are
their
hanging
lives,
out. The drummer's
but-
got like his wife
yeah.
and his kid there.
his kid. I know. I love that. Yeah, it's so real, and like I actually kind of like it. I think it works really well. I know what you
like
mean.
with
It would
how
be really
limited
nice
it is.
to like.
Well, it's just
Yeah.
like we get so much
But-
context for other stuff that it feels unbalanced. But now that you say there's like, in the original musical and like cut scenes that like explain it more, because I'm like, I want to know more about the relationship. Not only their, Hedwig and what's her name that is, I don't know, but the husband or whatever. But also like the manager, you know what I mean? It's like, how did the manager come into the picture? Because she's just like
I love
going
the manager,
hard
dude.
for her, dude. I love it.
She's
She's always
fighting
there,
for her, dude. Yeah.
like pumping the crowd up because it's
like always filming the doc and stuff.
and
too.
it's so fucking funny because it's like they're always at, like, it feels so real where they're just like, playing at a Denny's. They're literally, when it cuts to them
it's
playing
like-
behind the
apparently
salad
it's like a
bar.
real-
So fucking funny.
Yes, dude, that's so cool.
And the band's
then- and then,
can we
she's-
have the salads now?
can-
Like,
Can we eat now? And then so she like goes on her like to tell like her little
it's very
her little backstory.
spoken word too. It's like good
Yeah.
songs and it's like the spoken word vibe.
Well, dude, and that the sugar daddy song when she gets up and she's got the tassels and she tassels that old man with the car wash.
so good.
Like, dude,
That guy.
The crowd work in this movie is so good. Like I just love when she goes out and like there's like it feels. That's what I mean by like documentary because I honestly don't know if some people there knew they were in a movie. Like,
I know,
like,
right?
They
Well, they're
had
just
to,
like, hey, do me a favor and come be an extra in this movie, and that's all they were told.
And
like, you get a free
exactly,
salad out of
exactly.
it, Like,
yeah, no, literally. And I love how like everyone kind of skews older and like they have like and they just got it. That's why I think like this movie says a lot with just its characterization, just like the people that are in the crowd, and and the like the band members themselves. You can you get a lot from them.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice. I kind of because like that when they're playing spin the bottle with the baby bottle.
Yeah.
That's such a cute tender moment and everyone gets together. But like yeah, I wish we were there a little bit more. I wish they kind of explained like why they were there because there's that suspension of disbelief where I'm like they're like supportive of Hedwig, but like sometimes I'm like these I don't know not that like. It's beneath them or anything because but that's the thing.
Well,
We
right.
don't even really get to know the characters
Yeah,
enough
I
to
would wanna
even know if
know
they care.
exactly the
So.
context, because it's obvious that like the manager thinks that Hedwig is sort of like a musical genius and believes that she's behind all these massive hits, and could be
yeah, exactly.
could
yeah.
be
Yeah,
like
as an advocate.
a big also like advocate truly. I think she truly believes, but also it's like these songs that she wrote made like a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
If we prove it the other way, then we can make a fuckload of money. You know what I mean? Potentially, which is sad. It never happens. It's kind of sad that it kind of like the band, like the low point of the movie, where it's like, fucking Zadislav or whatever the fuck her name is. I don't know her name. Gets the part in Rent, and it's like, I'm out of here. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And then Hedwig's like being
Yitzka.
very
Yitzka.
petty, and Yitzka is being very petty and controlling, and like rips up her passport. And then everyone's like, "Oh, okay,
I know.
the band's
That-
over."
that
and then
broke
it's
my
like,
heart.
it did.
Yeah.
It's so sad because it's like Hedwig has gone through a lot of struggles, but it's just like that's like a major flaw, and it's like she's
And it's
kind of
the
controlling. She's a
cycle
diva.
of abuse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then it's just 3 months later, and she's just fucking hooking prostitute on the streets, and then that fucking. But it's like even as how sad that would normally be, where it's just like cuts, and you're like, oh god, that's dark, like. But it's shown in such a way that it's just like we're still having fun with it and
Yeah,
telling a story.
that is-
like the
exactly.
the guy shows up wearing the full rabbi costume to pick up the prostitutes, and then he's like, nah, and drives off. It's so good.
Yeah, right. Like that. That is like that's a very unique Sundance, like '90s Sundance charm that it doesn't exist anymore.
Well, yeah,
I just don't
I feel
get
like if this was
that.
made nowadays, yeah, you wouldn't have. I mean, obviously, a lot of it has to do with fucking. Oh my god, I'm never gonna get his name remembered. Fucking John Cameron Mitchell. Yeah, John
Cameron.
John Mitchell. Old John. Like, obviously, he's got the passion behind it, so it's like you made it now, it'd probably still be similar, but it's like I feel like this kind of movie, it's like, yeah, I would take that scene and try and make it like full, like just dark and like depressing. But it's just like even the scenes that are depressing where your main character is back on the streets being a prostitute is still like fun and like still joyful. Like this movie's just fun all the way through. Like it's fun. Even when it's getting kind of weird at the end and having closure.
Good stakes. I think that's what's nice. Yeah, right. I think maybe because it's so abstract that like we don't need to worry about our protagonist per se, because it's just kind of like it's gonna be told symbolically,
right?
Anyways,
yeah.
You know? And so I think that helps a lot.
That's the thing in a lot of movies.
So
yeah, we've talked about it before in the past, but it's just like a lot of people get hung up on like what's real, what's imagined, and it's just like a lot of times that defeats the point. Where it's like this movie is a piece of art as a film, and it's trying to tell a specific story in a specific way that's the John Mitchell's vision mostly, and with the group I'm sure, but like so when it gets kind of like abstract and stuff, it's not like, oh, this revelation is in Hedwig's mind, and you gotta be like, Hedwig's not real. Hedwig is a vehicle to tell the story, and it's like, oh, okay, like is Hedwig really prostituting on the streets? It's like it never kind of lets you forget. Like I don't know, it's like my suspension of disbelief is so high because of the type of movie this is.
Right.
That I'm like in the sauce already, no matter what. When fucking dude in a rabbi costume shows up to pick up some prostitutes, that should be thematically, if you're following the fucking color by numbers, the lowest point of the movie. It still is, but it's just like it still maintains its like vision, and then getting weird at the end where it's like full avant-garde art film walking out nude into the street to symbolize rebirth.
So cool. I love yeah, and it's great too, is like that connection when they're singing, and it's like Tommy's lit up, and she's lit up, and they're like singing to each other on like that stage kind of in the middle of just the grass.
Yeah.
Oh dude, and actually I really love when they play the festival and they're on like stage 9 and they're just playing for the one emo goth dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that too. It's like, come sit, and it's just like telling the story. So it's like, come sit here. Like you're the only audience member. Like get in it.
Right.
They're just next to the porta potties.
Such a cool moment. I know. Yeah, it is, dude. God, yeah. I really enjoyed this film. Like I didn't remember. I mean, I liked it when I was younger, but I don't really, I was like, I don't really remember much about it. And so now I'm like, oh, dang, this is cool. It's got a bigger impression.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I'm like, we need to do like queer film month or something. That would be fun. It would be cool.
We should, yeah. Maybe in like June or something, do it.
All sides.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I'd see. Like, I'm trying to think like what other good queer movie, because we just watched like Birdcage. I know that's a big one too. That's part of what made us want to go down this path this month of like based on plays,
Right. Yeah. But John Waters is like someone who I'm like, we haven't watched.
We haven't watched any John Waters, and I'm not as versed as I'd like to be on John Waters. I'm like, I want to watch more. I think I've only seen like 1 or 2, maybe only even 1.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, no, this movie was a surprise. It was a very good, pleasant surprise for me, because it's like I knew it was like cult classic, and it makes sense. Like, this does not seem like the kind of movie that's like was hugely popular or anything, but it's just like
no,
for who it hits hard. I feel like, and I'm like,
oh, it hits hard, yeah.
And again, I'm
happy
that we're mid-30s straight white dudes, and it's like we still got a lot out of this. Like, I feel like you don't have to be like part of that group or anything to enjoy this. Like, this is just a fucking goddamn good movie. Right?
I like. I think this could hit you, like watching this when you're younger, and then like watching it every like few years growing up, because it really like, I don't know, it's got it kind of, because that's kind of the story too. It tells a story of somebody kind of in their I think in their like 40s probably, maybe early 40s, late 30s, and like telling their childhood story, but
very much
I felt.
Identity, you know what I mean, is like the theme running through. Right. It's like coming of age, but like specifically, it's like struggling with your identity.
But it's like cool that it's fluid though too. That's what I enjoy that part. Like that's
I do
that's something
too.
Where I'm like they didn't come down on like a stance, which is kind of cool because the John Cameron Mitchell or whatever, he's like straight, quote unquote straight cis man that like created
No,
this
he's not.
character, and I think that's, or is he?
He is gay as hell, and he is non-binary.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
But he uses.
Oh.
I had to look him up because I was like, was this? I'm like, there's no way.
John, I thought that was, or not John, but Stephen Trask was like the one that brought the like queer influence. But
No, dude, I watched an interview with John Cameron Mitchell. He is gay as hell.
oh, okay, cool. Well, good for him.
But like he came out as gay. I don't know if he's always been like I think that earlier on in his life he probably. I mean, he's from Texas, so I'm sure he didn't come out the closet till
That's cool. Well,
later. But he
good.
it says that he's also struggling.
That feels more. That feels more apt then.
Yeah. Well, he wrote all of it, other than the lyrics, which the other guy wrote, which are great. Surprisingly, like I usually don't like lyrics that are like so telly. You know what I mean? That's another reason why I have it against musicals, where it's like lyrics are just like, here's exactly what happened. Here's how I'm feeling exactly. Like there's nothing to that, but it's just like, it works so well, even when it's just like, I got a sex change and here's exactly what happened. And this is the lyrics, but it's like, they rock. I don't know. They work. All the songs are pretty good, even though I'm disturbed by Sugar Daddy. And I think it's just because Luther creeps me the fuck out.
Yeah, it's his mustache.
Yeah. Well, we share a last name too. And I'm just like, no association.
Yeah. No relations.
I know you'd be surprised. We look identical.
I know, dude. Now we're gonna have to get this. Yeah, right. We're gonna get that tattoo he's got on his ass at the end.
I know, it's good. I was liking it because it's like, and those the symbols, the drawings, like that art style of the animations and stuff is so unbelievably 90s too. It's like,
oh, dude, 100%. Well, with all that, like they're in a mall at one point, and
yeah.
it's like
and it's bumping.
like, yeah, no, exactly, yeah.
And they go to the signing or whatever too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's so funny.
Try
to get in.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think my only complaint that I had about this movie was that, like, I wanted more backstory on the band and everything, but and then the back half gets a little messy. But it's like it's not telling I don't know. That's not telling a story. So, you said earlier you aghasted and laughed at me when I said it wasn't very popular. Does that mean it didn't make a lot of money?
Yeah, you nailed it, buddy.
I'm not
It
terribly surprised.
made me want to. Like I've been thinking about with this, like making kind of any kind of like musical / play, like usually for the most part, it's the creators of that are heavily influenced or like heavily involved. If not involved heavily, then have a heavy influence on it or get to say something, unless it's like postpartum or whatever, or what's that post dead what if they've died already. But this is like the creator got to direct it, and so that makes me really happy that it really is their true vision.
Yeah,
they got to see it come to life, and I'm excited about that, but it definitely did not make any money. So like I'll just give it a quick, because it was $6 million to shoot it, which seems pretty legit. Honestly.
Yeah, that tracks.
I wish we were getting more $6 million movies this day and age.
Yeah, true.
But it only made like 3.5.
Oh, I didn't even make that back.
But it's such an interesting thing, because it had like such a limited release, and I'm always curious what that like.
Well, and
that means.
Criterion,
If
it's on Criterion now. It's got to have done
right. It's
something.
got a huge cult. It's a huge cult following now. Like that's why you see it pop up on lists. It's it's very popular, and it'll be.
Well, out of all the movies, the reason why I was like, oh, okay, and I know this isn't always a good indicator, but like out of all the movies that were on the poll last week, this movie was the highest rated on Letterboxd by like a mile. It was like a 4.1, which is very high for Letterboxd. sidewalks. And so I was like, oh, okay, like this is obviously
Yeah.
like beloved. Like I don't think it had that many votes, but the people who saw it loved it. You know what I mean? I think is the general consensus. Like I don't think that many people, if you saw this and you hated it, you're probably a fucking joyless, soul sucking.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know why.
And if you're like meh, you're probably like just don't into music or think that it's icky. I don't know. Because like
I would imagine. I guess it's the glammy because it's kind of if it didn't get punky, more punkish, I probably would have been like, it's fine. It's too like glamour because like
but
some of the
way
some of
it's
the songs,
filmed feels punk too. Like not even
right
because and when we say punk, it's like it's got the attitude, but it's also the very like grimy DIY. You said earlier on like plucky. You know what I mean? It's plucky. It's raw, which is what I really liked about it. Like that's when you say like documentary style. It's like the grainy film, like the way it's cut, it's like the animation is just all just hand drawn, just fucking done, and like I don't know.
I love the groupies. They have the wigs, the like made out of foam.
Oh, I know. I want one of those. Almost.
That's so good. I know. Yeah. Dude, the wigs. She had like.
That room full of wigs. That's where the budget went to.
Yeah, that's such a no. Literally though, dude, that's such a good scene when the husband's sitting there like admiring the wigs and like they're so. I was like, watching that. That was like this whole movie. It's like this is a movie, but it's beautiful art. But I was like in that scene. I was like, man, they had to think pretty hard about where to put all these wigs. Like this is framed like it's
it was framed really good.
It. It's like. It's framed so well where like the wigs are like in impossible places and like so
right.
random.
So it just like fills it up.
Yeah.
That was a good scene because that was the scene where it first clicked for me too. Where it's like, and I guess it makes sense why they cut the scene like you were saying earlier because it's like in that scene where it's just that was the first.
It probably was around there. I would imagine honestly them talking about their backstory maybe.
That makes sense because
because
it's like that scene. I was like, oh okay, he's putting on the wig and everything, and they're having some strife. But that was the first scene where it's like you kind of really get a good close up, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's like a lady wearing like men's like, or at least outwardly, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, she like wants the wig, and like maybe I didn't know if it was like the femininity so much, or it was like at that point, or if it was like a jealousy of Hedwig, and like I don't know what that is just yet.
Right. And I feel like that.
So
I feel
that
like that's
came
where
out
the movie
later.
Was doing
okay,
that, where it's like it was like oh, we're gonna build tension here, like with this.
They fight
and
on stage like all the time.
Right, exactly. I was gonna say it's like, and like you don't even really need that as a misdirect because it's like their relationship is like heartbreaking whenever like Hedwig talks about like having true love and then being with Yitzka or whatever.
Well, that's what's kind of nice that it's just like at the end when she's like you do you, and then she turns back into like the glamorous woman and crowd surfs out of there, out of her life. He like lets her free and quits controlling, and is reborn. And it's like that's what's nice. It's like the tattoos were earlier on. It's got the tattoo of like it's the half the moon. I'm looking for my soulmate. Did the other part of me just take everything good and leave? And it's like when we were one. And then at the end, it's like, oh, I am like one with myself, and it's the like hegemony of the two. Like being
I do really love that. Like
it's good.
I kind of like when it's like the symbolism like beats you over the head, but like in a good way I like. I guess that's just how it works, right? That's how the art is subjective. Like I love just like and I don't know, nudity's cool when it's done well. Like I mainly hate sex scenes in movies because they're just so fucking like annoying, and they serve no purpose. And I get like it's like when a sex scene is like shoehorned in, like look at the 1980s like in a hole, like it's like so frustrating. But like in this I'm like nudity's cool, nudity's power, it's vulnerability, and then it's like it is rebirth. I mean,
I like a good sex scene. We should do a month of just like good sex scenes.
Well, because we did like we didn't do I'm trying to think like because we watched a freaking our most viewed YouTube movie. What was it called? Basic Instincts.
Yeah.
And so like
that was like thriller, or did we do like erotic thrillers?
I think, or did we? I think we might have done erotic.
We didn't. No way. We did a whole month of erotic thrillers. We should do just erotic movies.
But
though.
We might have done like a week. But that's what I'm, dude. I'd be down. Like there are like the blue is the warmest color. I think we've talked about this before in the past. But I like there are times where I'm like, oh, this serves a point. I mean, Handmaidens, that's like,
dude.
that's like, that's such a good. I mean, every sex scene in that movie is like amazingly done. Like it's
So well
crazy.
done.
Like it serves to the narrative like so strongly, dude. That's like,
And
one of the
it's
greatest,
like sexy without being cringe, which is hard.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Because normally, like you
go
say,
listen
you
to
get the
go listen to that
80s, yeah.
episode. Yeah, go listen to that episode. It's like that's like men doing women right.
God, Handmaiden rules. Anyway,
Handmaid's so good.
so yeah, I got a couple of Reddits for you. Let's see what I got.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Unless-
I have
yeah,
one more fun fact
give
that
me
I
the
wanted to get
facts.
out. Can somebody please out there listening to our podcast, Lord, take your old Hedwig and the DVD, if you have the original DVD that came out in probably like 2001 or 2002, and you can go to, there's a whole menu here. Give me 2 seconds. You do a Reddit real quick, and then
All right, find this hidden Easter egg or whatever. I'm interested. So, Trying My Best 101 says, one of my favorite movies of all time with an absolute earworm of a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Sweet and simple to the point. I'm glad. See, I feel like if you love this movie, you kind of love it. And I was really not expecting the music to be as catchy as it was, which it is.
I know, yeah, like that's great too. I'm surprised I forgot that. Like it is really catchy.
And then Superbite says, I thought the story was interesting and always had me curious to learn more about the characters and their relationships, though I'm surprised at the end to see Hedwig with a cross on their head and a male appearance. I was not expecting that. The cinematography all around was creative, and the rotating shot inside of the oven will stick in my memory. The musical sections were well done, and I especially liked Wig in a Box in the trailer park, which, that set was so dope. I'm glad I watched this movie, but thought the story stumbled in a few parts. And I commented that I kind of agree with that. Like, the story, like the plot stumbles, right? Like it's kind of
I know.
It's just kind of clunky, but it's like I think it's
the movie's held together with charm. So
it's forgivable. It's not like it's trying to
Yeah.
tell like something. It's very much like raw emotions. You know what I mean? Especially near the end where it's like nothing is literal anymore, and it's all just like
Well, and I think it's like for this movie, it's like it would only be a 15-minute short if it was just like told like a narrative, like
Right.
without the musical
Well,
numbers.
even
and
that,
flashbacks.
yeah,
Ties
you
it
gotta have
together,
it.
but
No, I get. In the back half, it's kind of like, it feels like
But,
it's
yeah,
missing
totally.
some chunks and
I
how it
totally
comes together.
agree, yeah.
I was confused for like a second about how like where it comes with Tommy and like their relationship, and it's just like So I get it. Thanks for the comment though, because I get where that's coming from for sure. And the cross stuff, it's like I should because I one day we'll do like religious movies or something, but
I know,
it
right.
does feel, we've talked about this before, like it feels like I'm missing a certain amount of context because of my ignorance of religion, where it's like it's supposed to maybe represent like, because she draws the cross on his head and it's like innocence or something, or like this purity, like
Well, what is it for Ash Wednesday? That's like it might be that
something,
taking
dude,
on that,
because
it's less to me. I thought it was like less than like the cross, the like whatever Jesus cross, but
well, I know, but he's got
Anyway.
the Jesus fish, and then his name is in the fish, and and I know that has to do with like,
so
is it Ash Wednesday? I don't know, but
I can't
something
remember,
like
yeah.
I do feel like those are connected. The fish and the ash, that's a thing, right?
Come to YouTube, come to Reddit.
The ashes
leave us a post.
are
please
from
let
the
us
fish?
know.
Is that what it
are
is?
are from the fish? Yeah, it's blackened fish, and he eats it with cornbred, and it's blackened fish is so
God,
good.
sounds
but
delicious.
yeah.
I got one more. I got one more.
Do you have one more? Oh, okay. I don't have to tell you my. I'll tell
Well,
you
we got more
the
people
secret.
commenting than usual, so which shows that people like
Hell
this.
yeah.
Which it means 3 people, so I appreciate that.
We love it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, we love. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah.
We're getting overwhelmed over here.
Thank you guys. And then Clones of People 2 says, first watch, I never heard of this, and I don't really like musicals, so I had no idea what to expect. I ended up really liking this. The soundtrack is great and has quite a few songs that stand out. The film managed to balance some absurdity with an emotionally grounded story, especially in the second half. The film went pretty raw and almost like a John Waters film, and that worked really. That really worked for this. There was some really interesting cinematography, particularly the scenes with Gnosis. I felt that there was a lot of symbolism. There was a lot to explore in the subject matter, and the film was saying a lot about identity and gender and creative expression. Overall, really happy to have seen this. Really liked the soundtrack. 8 out of 10 would recommend. Thank you.
Oh, hell yeah.
I had the same, and I'm glad you guys both said John Waters, because I'm like, that tracks. You know, it's got that Hairspray vibe. I don't know what it is. Anyway.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking like his like Pink Flamingos.
Yeah.
Vibe.
See, I've never.
But I think that's what it is. Is like I saw Pink Flamingos at the same time I saw this. You know, in that like year or whatever. And so I just kind of have them like crammed together as like, you know, similar, but like Pink Flamingos is more like a gummo style.
Yeah.
Where you know that like kind of just like
you're too busy
that
making out
punk
with
trash.
Jesse Hughes. Watching Pink Flamingos.
Dude. Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah. You're down in that basement alone. So, if you have a DVD, God, this is my message. I mean, this is my mission for you. If you want to satisfy us for once in our lives, our wretched lives, we would love to know.
Please.
The DVD, the original DVD. So, from the main menu of the DVD, choose All Access Pass. Then go to Deleted Scenes. With one of the top 3 choices highlighted, press your right button on your remote control. The wig on the side will change from yellow to pink. Once highlighted, press your enter button and a deleted anime sequence with the animator's commentary will play. I have looked for hours. I've looked on YouTube. I've tried to find this. I found some like DVD archive where they explain like not what it is. They just explain this. It's basically the paragraph I just read you, but in their own words. And it's like, they're like, it exists. It's out there. You should watch it. And I went to a dead link where it was like, watch it here. And that didn't work. And I went to like, you know, maybe I'll look up something else. I don't know where to look. I don't know. I mean, I went on the first page of the internet.
Yeah, please. If you have access to that, let us know where we can watch it, or at least just tell us about it.
Or just film it yourself. With your phone on your laptop.
I'm sure they're fine with it.
Of the DVD and put it on YouTube.
Well, for sure, right? Because that would be really cool to see. But it's like, I wish that's another thing I miss about the bygone age of physical media.
This was DVD Prime too. This is like when they were they put a full feature documentary on the DVD. There's like an hour 40 minutes,
awesome.
Longer than the movie documentary that they made for the making of.
I love it. I miss DVD features, but I miss weird hidden menus too in DVDs.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
reminds me of like a
Memento,
where you can like do the fucking quiz or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a very good movie. If it sounds at all up your alley, I recommend you check it out. It definitely seems somewhat underseen, but very loved by the people who enjoy it. So I'm really glad it won, because I don't think it really would have come that far on my radar, and then obviously to be watched. And this is another reason why I fucking love this film club, and because it's like, if it was just me and you, and sometimes it is just me and you, bud, that pick the movies,
right, that'll happen.
But we probably wouldn't have picked Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I don't remember what I voted for, but I didn't vote for that. I think I voted for 10 Things I Hate About You, because that one has been on my watch list. But this one was like, I don't know. It might have made it on there, and I might have watched it eventually, but it's like, I kind of got pushed to watch it, and it wasn't really on my radar, and that's why it was such a pleasant surprise for me, too. And so you fucking love to see it. So I like it when that happens. And then I don't know what we're watching next week, but it's the opposite, where we're probably going to watch something that I fucking love already, and I know I love it. I'm excited to watch it again. I don't know for sure if it'll win, but it looks like it's winning. Last I checked,
it better, because I voted for it, and I'm here for it, baby. And I didn't know it was a stage play, so
yeah, bud,
I'm in for a treat.
So next week, we don't know for sure, but probably you'll see if I post it. We're probably going to be watching Killer Joe, which is my favorite Friedkin movie. Crossed. My favorite Friedkin movie. Love that movie. And
would that be? Is this going to be our second or third freaking?
I mean, it's got to be third, right? Because we did.
Exorcist.
I mean, we definitely did French Connection, and then we definitely did. Did we? We did The Exorcist. Had to for Horror-tober.
Yeah, did Exorcist. I'm trying to. He did. Did he do? Who did Sorcerer?
Oh, is that
wasn't
Freakin'?
Freakin', was it?
Yeah, it might
is
be.
that Freakin'? I'm pretty sure that is. Dude.
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
Sorcerer.
Okay.
Yeah, so we
God,
did.
Sorcerer
Dude, yeah, we
ruled.
did Exorcist, French Connection, Sorcerer. Dude, yeah, we've done his big ones, man.
No,
Okay,
well,
that's
the one that
all
got
we
me into Friedkin, the movie that got me into Friedkin was Bug, and that was also a stage play.
did. Yes. Oh damn! Oh yeah, and that's right. He did the 12 Angry Men too. The
Yeah, the like 90s
the
one.
like
or whatever.
90s one or whatever. Oh, okay, that's so funny. So stage play is fun.
Yeah,
Fun,
of fun.
stuff, y'all.
yeah, good stuff. So hopefully, if that's what we're watching, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, well, and then we'll see. I'll talk to you after, Jordan. But I'm gonna do how I post, like what the genre of the month is a little bit different. So stay tuned. Come check us if you listened. We love you. Thank you. Check us out on the YouTubes, the Reddits, the fucking wherever you listen to podcasts, where you're listening to this. You got other ways.
We've got
Visualize
we
us
got
or Spotify.
bonuses on Patreon.
Yeah, there's
too.
some
We got a
older
bunch
bonus
of
stuff. We got to
bonus
start doing
episodes.
some more, but there's a lot of cool bonus episodes on there. Cool things. so.
Yeah, with all of our ample free time, we'll just do that. Yeah, you'll drop out of school and I'll quit my job and we'll just.
Yeah, I'll drop out. If I get enough Patreon people where I don't need
If
to
we
go
got
to
enough
school.
Patreons, that would be dope, dude. I would.
If I
yeah,
could
I'd drop
support,
out and-
I got kids, like,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
anyway.
Well,
So, all right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.
like,
I got an angry inch. All right, bye.
no, dude. A mound of flesh.